We are about to meet the girls' 100-yard freestyle participants in the championship round. In lane number 1, Paige Baker, junior, Lake Central. Hobart, junior, Emma Wright in lane number 2. Lane number 3, Megan Crispin, outstanding freshman from Carmel. Her teammate, Gretchen Luking, in lane number 4 is a sophomore. Bloomington South sophomore, Kristina Paegle. How about Molly Peterson, who's a junior from Hamilton Southeastern. Lane number 6, Madeline Crispin from Carmel. In lane number 7 is a junior. And then Grace Brenneman, a sophomore from Concord High School, is in lane number 8. So we've got a couple of juniors, a couple of sophomores, one freshman, and no seniors competing in this championship round of the girls' 100-yard freestyle.
Well, Emma Wright, last year's state champion in this particular event, goes to show you just how difficult sometimes it is to be able to repeat as a state champion in the state of Indiana. Now, she's got a chance to really race hard in this competition. The coaches will tell them, you have no control over what everybody else does. You got to go out there and race your race. And it sounds trivial, but they're right. You can't control how fast anybody else swims. You do your best, make them break a record to beat you.
Again, Baker, Wright, Crispin, Luking, Paegle, Peterson, Crispin, Brenneman, lanes 1 through 8, Lake Central, Hobart, Carmel, Bloomington South, Hamilton Southeastern, Carmel, and Concord.
All right, lane 5 is Kristina Paegle. Lane 4 is Gretchen Luking. Paegle, we saw her finish her 200 free off extremely strong. I think the race strategy was to get out with Gretchen here and see if she can still finish the 100 free. Second 50, also important in the 100 free. Out there at the top of your screen, last year's champion, Emma Wright, making a run.
Lane number 5, Kristina Paegle from Bloomington South, the sophomore, looking awfully strong. That's toward the bottom of your screen. She's ahead of the turn.
Luking can see her. She's breathing out of her right. Can Paegle finish it? No breathing from the flags on in for either one. Who gets it?
Kristina Paegle from Bloomington South with P1. Gretchen Luking grabs the second spot. Third goes to Emma Wright. What a swim. Megan Crispin. I'll tell you, Tony, that was tied from top to bottom of the pool.
And it's about the race. And sometimes it's where you place yourself early. When you know your competition and where you need to be with your competition and trust your training on the back of the race.
Significance
Great
of your
start.
point towards the end of the race, Tony, when you talk about neither one of them breathing to the wall.
Great. They learned that in age group swimming, not in high school swimming. That's ingrained in them at an early age. There's the finish. So that's the turn. And notice the quick heels over the top. Both ladies came out with power off the wall. Here's the finish. As you talked about, no breathing. They got good line of sight into the touchpad.
So again, a spirited battle. Kristina Paegle from Bloomington South High School is your champion in the girls' 100-yard freestyle from Bloomington South. We'll be back with more from the natatorium on the campus of IUPUI in downtown Indianapolis, here on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Never miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device. For your iPhone or Apple TV, check the App Store. On your Android or Android TV device, load up the Google Play Store. Have a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick? We have the app for you. Check us out on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube Live by searching for IHSAA TV. Or as always, click to IHSAATV.org for quick and easy access to your favorite IHSAA live and archived events.
Inspired by your nerves of steel and the nerves and joints that help our bodies go. Inspired by your return to battle and vanquishing your hand and wrist pain. Inspired by longer walks and breakthrough joint replacements that keep you in step. We're inspired to deliver the best in orthopedic care because at Franciscan Health, we're inspired by you.
Sozo U is dedicated to providing natural health consultations, products, and services to our clients. It is our mission to help equip our clients with natural health options to help them achieve their health goals. Located in Crawfordsville, you can like us on Facebook or find more information at www.sozou.com. John Herrick's down on deck with Tony Young. I am Mark James for the 46th time. Girls swimming and diving competing here at the natatorium. And again, an impressive day so far. Carmel continues to stretch out that lead in their quest to win their 34th, but things continue to tighten up a little bit in terms of who's going to grab second, third, fourth, and fifth.
The coaches plan the best programs have depth at every stroke, or at least have someone in the finals at every stroke. So when you're talking about age group programs and the athletes and how they're trained at an early age, be able to swim every stroke, every distance, this is what sets you up for a high school, a great program that's going to compete at the high school state championships. Having somebody competitive in every event, from everything from the sprints to the distance events, and particularly on the relays. And when you have that kind of depth, a Chris Plum, a Joe Keller, whomever, can mix and match kids in on those relays and save a swim or two for the finals. And that's why you always see some great relays times from Carmel in finals, because they're able to mix and match athletes in and still qualify for the finals.
Waiting to meet the top 8 from the 100-yard free. And I don't think I've ever asked you this in all the years that we worked together. How did you land in this sport? At what point in your life did you kind of see that this is the direction that you were going to go?
I think, and again, it's how you were how you're raised. I think we spent a lot of time outdoors at the summer pools growing up. I mean, parents would drop us off and we'd spend the whole day there, and you just fall in love with swimming. And my mom was one of the ones that just pushed me, find the best coach, and whether it was tennis or swimming. And I found a great love for both of those sports through, just being involved in it and never, taking the sport of swimming as the sport of swimming. It was just always having fun being in the water.
So was coaching something that you just kind of started to think about once your swimming career came to a close, or at some point in high school did you think, oh, someday I'm going to coach?
No, it really didn't. I mean, many of us change our career goals as we go on, but Bob Steele, who was the iconic coach down at Southern Illinois University, was just a great mentor. He was one that kind of got me involved as on deck assisting at one point in time, and I kind of fell in love with it, and then had the opportunity to go to Indiana University and work on my master's and spend some time on deck listening to the famous Doc Councilman. And when you're around those type of iconic people, they just exude the love for the sport, and then you love it as well.
Save for the couple of years that you were in charge of the swimming program for the state of Illinois, how many years in totality have you been with Indiana Swimming, the organization you're back with?
It started back in 2003. Well, if you talk about how long I've been in Indiana Swimming, that started in 1991, but as a coach. And luckily enough to transition careers in 2003, and then now back again in Indiana Swimming. And it's a family, as you listen to the athletes talk about this, but I couldn't be prouder of my coaches. When I walk down on the deck with, and meet the coaches and the officials and the people that have been mentoring me over the years, particularly, Lucy and Dick Duncan. Dick Duncan just passed away this past evening, and what an amazing individual he was, and instrumental in how I approached coaching and then how I approached being an administrator.
So we hope momentarily to meet the top 8 in the 100-yard free, and we can look across the way and see where they're starting to get that top 8 lined up. And I think it is fairly significant for them to make sure they do have them in the right order in which they're being introduced to the crowd. And again, these post-meet, post-competition award ceremony, and it doesn't matter the sport. I mean, it is well organized and well executed on the part of the Indiana High School Athletic Association, working with the various organizations to make sure that these things are done in a timely and organized fashion that puts the kids front and center. Let's go back to the public address.
In 8th place from Lake Central, Paige Baker in a time of 51.64. 7th place from Hamilton Southeastern, Molly Peterson, a time of 51.63. 6th place from Concord, Grace Brenneman, a time of 51.49. Fifth place from Carmel, Madeline Chrisman, at a time of 50.92. Fourth place from Carmel, Megan Chrisman, at a time of 50.53. Third place from Hobart, Emma Wright, at a time of 50.52. Second place from Carmel, Gretchen Luking, at a time of 49.76. And the 2020 Girls High School State Champion in the 100 free from Bloomington South, Kristina Paegle, in a time of 49.57.
Tell you what kind of quality program they have at Bloomington South. I don't know if you remember this or not, Tony, but a number of years ago, there was a young man who was a swimmer at tiny Eastern Green High School, which is not too far from Bloomfield. They didn't have a program. And so the administration board there supported the young man. They found a coach for him, and he was able to compete in his meets at Bloomington South High School, because clearly they didn't have swimming facilities at Eastern Green. Mm-hmm. And he did come here to the state finals that year from Eastern Green High School. And that's the kind of camaraderie that exists in the sport.
Very much so, and there's many stories like that, providing opportunities for our kids.
So, 500-yard freestyle relay, not for the faint of heart. Lanes 1 through 8, Andy Drew, Reagan Mattis, Evelyn Sierra, Abby John, Sydney Nethercutt, Vivian Wilson, Hannah Spolstra, and Jamie Glover. Representing top to bottom of your screen, South Bend St. Joe's, Zionsville, South Bend St. Joe's, Fisher, Northridge, Carmel, Lake Central, and Mount Vernon. This is just underway, and we'll explain more about what makes this event so truly unique and so very, very difficult after we hear from John Herrick.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Well, Kristina, that was a pretty close race there at the end. What was the key for you holding on?
I just wanted to get out and finish as fast as I can, get my hand on the wall.
And you've got a pretty busy day still. You got some other events coming up. What are those?
Yeah, the 200 free relay and the 400 free relay.
All right. What do you think the keys are for those?
Just the same thing. Just go for it. Yeah.
All right, Kristina, congratulations.
Thank you.
Mark?
Sometimes, John, they let their performance of the pool do the talking for them, and that's certainly a case for that young lady, and what a stellar competitor she is once she gets into the pool. Okay, Tony, so explain this 500-yard freestyle